In this session, we are going to study about the Solanaceae family. So let us begin. The Solanaceae family is also known by the name potato family, potato being the one of the members of this family. So if we talk about the presence or where the members of this family are usually found, so they are found worldwide, mainly in the tropics, subtropics, and in the temperate regions. Now let us look at the vegetative characters. So the plants of Solanaceae family are usually herbs or shrubs and rarely small trees. Alright, if we talk about stem, then the stem is herbaceous, it is aerial. The stem is herbaceous and rarely woody. That means the stem would not be very thick, as in the case of woody plants, and usually the stems of herbs and shrubs are not very woody and they are kind of thin, not very solid. And then the plants would be aerial, erect, cylindrical, branched. The stem could be solid or hollow. So a solid stem is that stem which is completely filled with tissues, whereas the hollow stems have some space inside them where no tissues are found. So the stem could be solid or hollow, and it could also be hairy or glabrous. Glabrous means smooth. So the hair could be present or absent on the stem. And since we are talking about the stem, there is one special type of stem which is the underground stem, and the example is potato. So if you remember when we studied about the modifications of stem, there when we studied about the storage of food, right, the example was potato, which is a kind of a tuber, and potato is actually an underground stem modified for the storage of food. So do you remember the scientific name for potato? It's Solanum tuberosum. Alright, now let us talk about the leaves. The leaves are alternate, simple, and rarely pinnately compound leaves. Exstipulate means stipules will be absent. And the venation on the leaf, can you guess the venation on the leaves? The plants of Solanaceae family are mostly dicots. So I think you can easily guess the venation. Write down in the comments below. This completes the vegetative characters. Now let us begin the floral characters. In the floral characters, the inflorescence which we usually found in Solanaceae family could be solitary, axillary, or cymose. What is solitary and axillary? Let us see with the help of a diagram. So a solitary inflorescence, in solitary inflorescence what happens? Only a single flower develops at the tip of the stem or the branch. So if this is the stem or the peduncle, then only single flower will be developed here at the tip of the stem or the branch. Only one flower. So this type of presence of only one flower on the main stem or floral axis is called solitary inflorescence. And what is axillary then? If you remember, we studied about the axil, right? What is an axil? So if this is the arrangement of leaves on a stem, then we studied about the axillary bud or axil, which is usually present between the angular space between the stem and the leaves, right? So if this is the axil, then the flowers will be born here. So the flowers will be born at the axil, and that type of arrangement is called axillary. Like this. So if the flowers are arranged like this, developed at the axil of the leaf, this is called axillary. I hope solitary and axillary is clear. So these two types of arrangement can be seen in the inflorescence along with the cymose inflorescence. So we studied about the cymose inflorescence. I hope you remember it. If we talk about the flower is bisexual and shows actinomorphic or radial symmetry. If we talk about the calyx, then the calyx are 5 and they are fused, means they are gamosepalous and they show volvate estivation. Similarly, the corolla, they are also 5. So 5 petals, they are also fused and they also show volvate estivation. So the characteristics of calyx and corolla are quite similar. They are 5 in number, they are fused and estivation is volvate. If we talk about androecium, then the stamens are also 5 and they are epipetalous. So what is epipetalous? If you remember, we learnt about it in one of the lectures, right? It is a special type of condition when the petals are fused, the stamens are fused with the petals. They are found attached on the petal. And we studied one example of a epipetalous flower. So do you remember that example? If you do, then write down the answer in the comment section. If we talk about the gynoecium is bicarpellary. That means 2 carpels will be present. Syncarpous, that means the 2 carpels will be fused. Ovary is superior. Bilocular, that means it will have 2 compartments. The placenta is swollen with many ovules. Alright, so one of the examples here of the Solanaceae family plant is tomato. So we studied about tomato in one of the examples when we studied about placentation. So do you remember the type of placentation in tomato? And do you see any similarity with the placenta and the type of gynoecium we studied here? So write down the type of placentation found in tomato in the comments below. If we talk about the fruits, then the fruits are called berry or capsule. Okay, so this is an important term. Please remember it. The fruits of the Solanaceae family are called berry or capsule. Now the seeds are many, since ovules were many, so obviously seeds will be many, and the seeds here are endospermous. Yes, although the plants of these family are dicots, the seeds are endospermous. So this is an exception, right? We studied that most of the dicot seeds are non-endospermic. Only one exception was there, which was castor. Castor is a dicot which is endospermic. Similarly, the plants of Solanaceae family are dicots, but their seeds are endospermous. right? So all these exceptions are important, so you should remember them. Now, before coming on to the economic importance of Solanaceae family plants, let us draw its floral diagram and write down the floral formula. Before that, let me clear this. Alright, so in the floral diagram, we will start with the calyx. Now the sepals were 5. Let us draw the sepals first. This is one sepal, this is the second sepal, and the sepals were fused, right? So we can see the fusion like this. Sepals are fused, and then the 5th sepal here, fusion or united sepals. So these are the 5 sepals, gamosepalous condition. Now let us draw the corolla or the petals. So we also studied that petals are also 5, right? And the sepal cell petals both show valvate estivation. So one petal here, one here, and these are gamosepalous, gamopetalous. So we will show the fusion like this. Petals with valvate estivation. Then the stamens. We studied that the stamens are 5 and they show epipetalous type of arrangement. That means they are fused with the petals, right? So let us draw the stamens 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and they are fused with the petals. So we will show the epipetalous stamens like this in the diagram. Then the gynoecium. So we studied that gynoecium is bicarpellary and syncarpous, right? So we will draw the 2 carpels like this, and they are joined together, fused together. So bicarpellary syncarpous. Alright. So this completes the floral diagram for Solanaceae family. Now let us write down the floral formula. And one more thing, in the floral diagram we forgot to draw the mother axis. So the mother axis will be here. Now let us write down the floral formula. So we will start with the symmetry or the type of flower. So this flower possesses radial symmetry or actinomorphic. Then the flower is bisexual, right? Calyx are 5 and they are fused. Corolla are also 5 and fused. And rhizome 5 stamens, fused epipetalous condition, right? Sorry, there will be no bracket in the stamen. The petals are fused, the stamens are fused with the petals. So we will show the epipetalous condition using this symbol, right, over the androecium and corolla. And gynoecium, we studied that the ovary is superior, and bicarpellary syncarpus we will show like this, 2 carpels fused. All right, so this completes the floral formula for Solanaceae family. So I hope all these terms along with the examples and floral diagram and floral formula are clear to you about the Solanaceae family. Now let us learn about the economic importance. So most of the plants of Solanaceae family are source of food. Examples are potato, tomato and brinjal. These examples are easy to remember because we studied about potato here, right? When we talked about the stem vegetative characteristic. Potato is a modification of stem. Then we also studied about tomato. In the gynoecium, I asked about the type of placentation, right? So potato, tomato, and then brinjal. Brinjal is one of the examples we studied somewhere which is related to the androecium, so that you have to find out. All right. Then some of the plants are used as spice, for example chili. Some are used as medicines, for example belladonna and ashwagandha. Then some are used as fumigatory. Fumigatory plants means those plants which are usually burned for smoke or for creating fumes. So one such example is tobacco. Tobacco is usually burnt, right? And the smoke is inhaled by the ones who smoke cigarette. So tobacco. And then there are some ornamental plants. Example is petunia. So all these examples are important. Please remember them. So this completes the session for Solanaceae family. Alright, that's all for this lecture. Thank you so much.